Fallout Season 2 Episode 3 quietly reshapes the entire power dynamic of the wasteland. The Brotherhood of Steel fractures under political pressure, Maximus makes a decision that could ignite a continental war, Lucy is punished for exposing ideological hypocrisy, and Cooper is forced to confront the long-term consequences of his past failures. By the end of the episode, it becomes clear that no faction is morally clean, no ideology is stable, and survival itself may be the most dangerous belief system of all.
You give me something I want.
Fallout Season 2 Episode 3 doesn't rely on massive explosions or shocking twists to move the story forward. Instead, it does something far more dangerous. It exposes how every major faction in the wasteland is already rotting from the inside. By the time the episode ends, it becomes painfully obvious that the Brotherhood, the Legion, the NCR, and even so-called lone wolves like Cooper are all trapped in cycles of ideology, violence, and self-justification that guarantee collapse. This episode isn't about who wins. It's about why nobody deserves to. The episode opens by quietly revisiting Thaddeus, whose ghoul transformation began in Season 1 and has now fully taken hold. Instead of hiding or seeking redemption, Thaddeus has leaned into his condition and built a facility that operates like a warped mirror of pre-war capitalism. He employs abandoned children to collect Nuka-Cola bottle caps, the most common currency in the wasteland, under the justification that he's offering them stability. The irony is brutal. A society destroyed by corporate greed is now being rebuilt on child labor, enforced scarcity, and fizzy soda standing in for water. Thaddeus frames this arrangement as mercy. He tells the kids that outside the facility, things are far worse. No security, no money, no protection. Inside, at least, they have walls, a steady income, and cola instead of thirst. It's not kindness, it's survival dressed up as benevolence. The tension inside the facility escalates when discrimination begins to surface among the children themselves. Those already showing signs of ghoulification are treated as lesser, even though they're victims of the same radiation and abandonment. Thaddeus shuts this down with a speech that temporarily boosts morale, but the damage is already done. Fallout makes its point clear here. Even among the oppressed, hierarchy and cruelty reemerge almost instantly. We're told we'll return to this storyline later, and that promise matters, because Thaddeus' operation isn't just a side plot. It's a warning. The focus then shifts to the Brotherhood of Steel, where the cracks are no longer subtle. The arrival of Xander, a representative tied closely to the Commonwealth, throws the Yosemite chapter into political chaos. The elder of the chapter refuses to support Quintus, planned to rebel against the Commonwealth, citing the Brotherhood's lack of unity and resources. Quintus responds by invoking the Brotherhood's origin story, referencing Roger Maxson not as a religious figure, but as a man who chose moral absolutism over blind obedience. Maxson uncovered inhumane experiments, rejected the corruption of the old world, and founded the Brotherhood to prevent that history from repeating. Quintus uses this story as a rallying cry, arguing that rebellion is the Brotherhood's DNA. But the speech falls flat. The Yosemite elder isn't moved. Instead, she offers pragmatic advice: hand over the cold fusion relic to the Commonwealth and avoid annihilation. Her stance reveals the Brotherhood's current weakness. They're no longer unified by belief. They're paralyzed by fear of consequence. When she leaves, Maximus immediately suggests killing Xander to continue their plan, a suggestion that reveals just how far he's slipped. This isn't strategy. It's impulse. Maximus is riding the high of violence from his earlier fight, mistaking aggression for strength. Quintus shuts him down hard, pointing out that killing Xander would guarantee war, a war the Brotherhood cannot afford without full chapter support. When Maximus pushes back, Quintus explodes and orders him out. That moment matters because it shows Maximus for who he really is at this stage, not a conflicted hero, but a dangerously impulsive soldier intoxicated by power and validation. The Brotherhood doesn't just weaken here. It exposes how easily its ideals collapse under emotional decision-making. Outside the meeting room, Maximus is immediately confronted by Xander, who wastes no time pushing Commonwealth ideology. Xander frames the Commonwealth as a more functional system where paladins and knights hold real power and clerics exist only as formalities. the opposite of the Brotherhood's rigid hierarchy. He admits that the two factions have been on the brink of conflict before, but insists this time is different because the elders are fractured and indecisive. Xander believes he can win Maximus over, and sensing Maximus' bruised ego after Quintus' outburst, invites him onto his chopper to talk. During their flight, Xander drops the real bombshell. If Quintus refuses to hand over the cold fusion relic, the Commonwealth will retaliate. He subtly suggests that Maximus could steal the relic himself, give it to Xander, and prevent catastrophe. He even frames it as a moral necessity, revealing that the Commonwealth is barely holding together and that cold fusion is the only thing keeping the continent from sliding into even worse chaos. Maximus doesn't agree outright, but Xander believes he's planted the seed. When the chopper detects unusual power signatures, Xander decides to investigate, and Maximus joins him, not out of duty, but out of a desire to solidify his new alliance. They discover the source of the signal, a Securitron guarding a facility. Working together, they destroy it, and Maximus delivers the killing blow, extracting the fusion core. Impressed, Xander rewards him with a custom power hammer, a symbolic transfer of power and trust. But when they enter the facility, the truth hits hard. It's Thaddeus, Nuka-Cola operation. The Securitron wasn't protection for the kids. It was enforcement. Without hesitation, Xander begins sorting the children into two groups: smoothskins and those already turning into ghouls. His intent is clear. The ghouls are liabilities, and liabilities get eliminated. Thaddeus emerges, desperate to stop the massacre, but it's obvious he has no real authority. Xander represents an ideology that values order over life, and once that line is crossed, mercy disappears. Maximus is forced into a brutal choice: protect his old friend and innocent children, or maintain his alliance with the Commonwealth's paladin. When push comes to shove, Maximus kills Xander with the very weapon he was gifted moments earlier. It's not a heroic act. It's reactive, emotional, and catastrophic. Maximus immediately realizes the weight of what he's done. This is exactly what Quintus warned him against. The only hope now is misdirection. If they can make it look like Xander died fighting the Securitron, maybe war can be delayed. But if the Commonwealth has real-time intel, the Brotherhood is finished. The episode then cuts to Lucy, whose idealism finally meets its most violent consequence. After failing to save a legionary, Lucy is brought before Caesar's legion and executed for the perceived failure. She challenges them relentlessly, calling out their misuse of Roman symbolism, their misunderstanding of history, and their adoption of medieval practices like prima noctis that have nothing to do with the Roman Empire. Her intelligence infuriates them. When she reveals personal truths, including her lack of virginity, the legion responds with humiliation and punishment, not logic. Lucy is crucified with ropes, not nails, left to die slowly. This scene isn't just cruelty for shock value, it's fallout exposing ideological cosplay. The Legion isn't about Rome, it's about power without accountability. Lucy's crime isn't disobedience, it's exposing that the Legion's belief system is hollow. The general explains that the Legion itself is fractured, split into two factions after the founder's death, because neither side wants to accept a successor they dislike. Instead of resolving the issue, they wage endless war over a hill containing the founder's corpse and a piece of paper with the truth written on it. Purpose has replaced reason. Meanwhile, Cooper recovers from his rad scorpion injury by cutting away poisoned flesh, a grim reminder of the cost of survival. A flashback shows Barb preparing Janie's keepsake box before the bombs fall, devastated by the things she can't take with her. Cooper subtly questions her role in the nuking program, but Barb remains emotionally distant. The past lingers, unresolved. In the present, Cooper attends a fundraiser and speaks with Charles Whiteknife, who confirms that House is working on a weapon. Moldaver wants House dead, and Cooper is conflicted. Charles argues that killing House is necessary to prevent annihilation, pointing out that even celebrated veterans are complicit in mass death. Cooper, at least, knows his target is evil. In a bathroom encounter, Cooper unknowingly meets House himself. The conversation is tense, philosophical, and unfinished. Cooper walks away, a decision that will haunt him. Later, Cooper listens to Charles' speech condemning war while acknowledging its inevitability. Charles gives Cooper a lighter, a symbol that will matter later. Back in the wasteland, Cooper observes Lucy's suffering and dismisses her belief that kindness can fix the world. But when he sees the Legion split into two Caesars, he recognizes civil war. Knowing he'll need Lucy, Cooper seeks help from the NCR, encountering a damaged Securitron named Victor, who claims House is gone. Dead, immortal, or hidden, the truth remains unclear, and that ambiguity is intentional. Cooper finds NCR Rangers and meets Captain Rodriguez, who asks him to help locate a lost battalion. She offers him medicine to sustain his immortality and speaks passionately about rebuilding civilization. Cooper rejects it. He believes humanity deserved extinction, but when he reaches Caesar's camp, he trades the location of the NCR camp for Lucy's life. As they escape, Cooper notices exposed dynamite. In the final moments, Cooper, Lucy, and Dogmeat watch from a hill as Cooper flicks Charles' lighter. The dynamite detonates, igniting the Legion's long-brewing civil war. Cooper didn't save the NCR. He didn't redeem the world, he simply removed something worse, and that's the episode's final truth. In Fallout, morality isn't about saving humanity. It's about choosing which evil ends today. Drop your hot takes below before the next rad scorpion bites you.